in the life. I'm your lawyer, Patrick McGeehan, and I am your best friend at your worst time. You know, before I became a lawyer, I was a policeman in Miami for almost 20 years. And during that time, I've been to a lot of police shootings. I've seen a lot of carnage. I've seen people shot. I've seen kids shot. It's terrible. Sometimes in life, there are just things that make you go, what the frick is going on in the world? One of those for me is the Uvalde School Shooting in Uvalde, Texas. I've had such a range of emotions about that. I've been pissed off. I'm still pissed off. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I want to know what happened. I think the parents want to know what happened. Everybody wants to know what happened there, and we don't know. But these are the facts that we do know. We know in Uvalde, Texas, that a shooter entered a school, went into a classroom, killed kids, killed teachers. We know that the police responded with guns. And for some reason that I don't think is clear, that we need to know more about, is why it took them so long to engage this shooter. Contemporary police training in active shooter situations and school shootings is for the officers to go in and immediately neutralize the shooter. Whether it's one officer, two officers, 5 officers, 50 officers. The first thing they do, the first thing they're supposed to do, is go in and neutralize this shooter. We also know that there are officers on the scene from at least 2 police departments. We had the Uvalde Police Department, which seems to be properly equipped. They at least have some officers with rifles and tactical gear, and they seem to have enough people for an entry team. It's also my understanding that shortly before this, they did a school shooter training at their department. Then we have the chief of the Uvalde School Police, different from the Uvalde Police. Sometimes school boards and school districts have their own police departments separate from the city and the county police. This is Chief Pete Arredondo, the Uvalde Unified, I think it's Uvalde Unified School District Police Department or whatever. He's on the scene. He is a member of management. He is the chief. It would seem to me that he would be in charge, although he says he doesn't think he was in charge. What was reported earlier is that he was stacked up in the hallway with officers, and the door to the classroom was locked. They didn't have a key. They couldn't make entry. They didn't have proper equipment. They didn't have shields or whatever. It's been recently reported in the last week that the video, the surveillance video from the school, was released, and it shows officers stacked up in the hallway with M4s and ballistic shields. They seem to be well equipped to me. Why these officers did not go and immediately confront the shooter, I don't know. Obviously, there's a breakdown in command and training these officers from different agencies. They should be training together. They should have a command structure. They should know what to do when this comes up. They've had the training. Officers train on this all the time. And it's inconceivable to me that these officers would have rifles, shields, and vests and not confront this guy. I just don't know what to think anymore. And I don't think we're ever going to get the real story of what happened in this situation. It's been further reported that even though the chief said the door was locked, the video shows they never even tried the door. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what's being reported. Prior to the shooter entering the school, one officer drove past him and missed him. Another officer asked permission to engage the subject prior to entering the school, and that request wasn't acted upon. As far as I'm concerned, you have a shooter entering a school, you don't ask permission. If the situation and the totality of the circumstances call for the use of deadly force, you engage that shooter and you neutralize that shooter. Why you would ask permission over a radio, I don't know. But usually you can call those facts in an investigation when they come out and say that. I don't think you can call those facts in this particular case because the story is constantly and always changing. The only facts that we know for sure is this moron took a rifle, went into a school, went into a classroom, killed a bunch of kids, and it was a substantial amount of time before the police went in and neutralized him. As far as I'm concerned, those are the only facts that we know. Everything else is just story after story after story and changing stories, all the way from the director of the DPS down to the local police department. I I can't imagine what it must be like for these parents who just don't know the whole story. And I think they need to know. They must know that whole story. Anyway, I get asked to review shootings and use of force videos all the time. I'm trying to get through them. I have a bunch in a backlog. I'm trying to make the videos for them now, but this one's different. I have never seen anything like this. If you've seen anything like this, or you've seen anything similar, please let me know in the comments, because I've never seen anything like this. Somebody brought up the question is it similar to what happened in Marjory Stoneman Douglas? I don't think so. At Marjory Stoneman Douglas, you had a single deputy armed with a handgun that didn't go in and neutralize the shooter. And when other officers showed up, they went in right away and neutralized the shooter. In this case, you have video of the hallway, of officers stacked up in the hallway, not going in and neutralizing this guy. I mean, I don't care what it takes. If the door's locked, you got to find a way to breach that door. Whatever it takes, you got to breach that classroom and you got to neutralize that shooter. It's standing around the hallway is not an option. Anyway, let me know what you think. Am I missing it? Am I getting it totally wrong? I mean, it's to me, it's just amazing. If you have another opinion, let me know. Let me know down in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you like this content, and I'll have more videos coming up of police and self-defense shootings as soon as I can get to them, as soon as possible. I'm backed up with a little bit of court lately, so as soon as I can get those out, I will. Have a wonderful time. Like and subscribe. Look forward to seeing you next time.